Guys, I have got some really incredible spirit box evidence with this one from a 900-year-old site in England whose history includes executions, the plague, a cholera epidemic, a Victorian workhouse and a school. So I always love it when some new evidence comes to light that kind of supports the whole sort of SBox spirit communication thing and provides something that can be validated through an archaeological record. And I found that. I did some deep digging yesterday and this blew my mind. So basically in October 2024 on Halloween, myself and my daughter went to Shrewsbury and we did some filming around St Chad's Church and the Quarry, which is this big park there. I made a video about it at the time, which I will link to in the description below. And I did a session in the park and absolutely loads came through and it was really clear as well. I didn't know anything about the plague in Shrewsbury at the time, but when I heard the Black Sickness come through this, I knew that was connected to the plague because they used to call it the Black Death. And then sickness came through again straight afterwards, so I thought that's strange. So I looked into it, and at the time we'd not long come from an area that was above a plague pit, so I assumed perhaps that was the connection. Turns out the connection is even closer than that. So I have since discovered that not that far from the park where we were, literally just over the river, is a school, Shrewsbury School. This used to be the site of something called a pest house back in the 1600s. Now, a pest house is not the place that the town puts all the local pests, though I think that would be a good idea. Can we make that a thing? No, what it actually comes from the word pestilence, which means disease, like infectious diseases. So if ever there was an outbreak of something really serious, like plague, everybody would be quarantined, basically. Those who had the disease would be quarantined, usually outside of the town, the other side of a river where this location is. And yeah, they would all be kept there at this pest house. And many people would have died there. And it turns out there's actually a burial ground on that site. To give you a kind of an idea of how close we were, I do have a map and I'm going to play you the... actually first I'm going to play you what we got. I'm going to play you the clip that we recorded at that location in October 24. Have a listen to this. Okay, we're sitting here now and it's just donged the bell just as I was about to film, but I didn't catch it on film. And yeah, so you will never know what the bell sounds like, but yeah, that's St Chad's where we've just been, and this is the Quarry in Shrewsbury. This is the big park, looking very nice in autumn.
With a lot of leaves.
With a lot of leaves, there's a lot of leaves. And yeah, we found a quiet spot, and we might try do a little bit of SBox, just to see if there are any spirits hanging around in the Quarry. Okay, so we're just going to try a really quick sort of SBox session.
SBox. Scanning FM.
I hope it's not going to be too loud because we are in a public park. Okay, so I've just got it turned right down, so let me just turn that up a little bit. And I'm recording this, so... Okay, spirit. I'm going to be able to go through this and it is saying things, so I'm going to go through this on the with headphones, as I always do, and subtitle it. So yeah, if there's any spirits here, quick chat. Anyone want to say hello? Spirits here? Yeah, this doesn't understand it. Oh, that's a weird one. I understand about probably less than 10% of the time. I'm going to be quiet. Any spirits here? I want to say hello. You can pass a message on to this. They're in a lovely place. It's Rachel. It's Rachel, did I say? Hello. have we got? Fascinated by this, aren't you? So interesting. Halloween delay. Make it easier for the spirits to talk to us or not? Is it all nonsense about the veil being thinner? Does it not matter? How's everyone doing? It's a lovely day. Help me, I'm sure that said help me, did you hear that? What kind of help do you need? So many asked for help. What help do you need? Oh, healthy. I'll go back and listen to this. Very interesting. Did you die recently? I'm gonna go now, bye. So yeah, there were some really interesting bits coming through that. I particularly like the bit where it said humans never hear things. Like, I think they find it really difficult to create full sentences with the SBox, though it does happen, but I think it's a lot easier for them to be clear when saying single words. So I thought that was really clever how they put like one word after the other to make something sort of a coherent sentence like that. So yeah, I'm going to show you this map now so you can get an idea of where we were and where these burial grounds are, because it does get even more interesting. Like there's layers to this, bear with me. But here's the map that I've done, and so this is again just what I've been able to kind of piece together from things I found out online. I'll go into that in a minute. The little pink circle at the top is where we were sitting. The red circle is the rough area where bones have been found. I'll go into that. And the yellow circle is where the pest house burial ground is recorded as being. So it seems as if so bones were found in 1960, and there's an online record of this. And it seems, it could well be that there's been like some slippage with the land, so things have kind of moved, and things that were once sort of at the top sort of moved. I'm not quite sure how it works, but according to a sort of archaeological report that I found online, the bones are most likely from the 1600s and the pest house era. Shortly after that, this place was used for a cholera outbreak in 1832, so there was another burial ground from that. After that, in sort of the 1700s, they built a workhouse on the site. So workhouses were pretty unpleasant places. They were basically used for people who were unable to support themselves in society, and yeah, people had to work really hard from 6 a.m. until 6 p.m, and the treatment of the people there was deliberately harsh to deter people from relying on them. If you've ever seen the musical Oliver, you'll have an idea. Yeah, so a lot of people would have died there as well. There were a lot of very vulnerable people in those places. And so there was also a burial ground for the workhouse. So we have a lot of graves that what is now this school is basically sitting on. But not a lot of documentation online about it, unfortunately. So I don't know why this place isn't like an absolute hotspot for ghosts. Maybe it is, I don't know, but I definitely want to go back there. I will be going back there this coming Easter holiday with my daughter, and to do a specific investigation around this site, because there is so much history here. I thought we just got to go back and see what we can find in this area, because it's like cholera, plague, and and executions before that in like the 1600s or 1500s, I believe. They used to execute people around that area as well. There's some local legend that a woman was burned as a witch in the Quarry Park. This place has it all. So I will be going back in the holidays with my trusty SBox and yeah, seeing what I can find. But what I did in the meantime was to revisit the file that I recorded in 2024, just to kind of again, see if, just to sort of retranscribe it in a way, just to see how much I sort of got right from the first time, and to see if having a bit more practice at transcribing helps. and whether, you know, using different software, which I do now, also helps as well. And there were a few extra bits I picked up, so I thought you might be interested in hearing the updated file directly from the SD card with the fresh transcription. Most of it is the same, but it does seem to mention bones.
Zones. Sure. At a wrap. On a one. Yeah. Where's Tom? Another. Come on. Counting. Convening. So
So at the beginning, I can now hear the word shin bones. I don't actually know what the bones were that they found. I've tried to do digging on this, but all I can find is that bones were found. I don't think things were properly sort of recorded and stored like they are now back then in 1960, so there isn't much documentation about it at all, really. So I don't know if it was shin bones or anything else that they found, but I thought that was interesting. But yeah, there was a lot coming through, and it sort of says like, we stay and talk, we're dead, we're coming through, and that we is interesting. Like, it's sort of a bunch of people sort of as a group. There's the sense that this is a group of people that are speaking, which would kind of fit with things like a workhouse or a pest house where everyone was kind of together and even buried together. So I wasn't sure if that might be relevant as well, but really clear responses there. So yeah, I definitely have to go back and see what we can get. I'm looking forward to that one. As always, might be worth doing a quick session on this just to see if we can get any answers from my spirit team. Where are we? I'm gonna record this. Tell me about this pest house, if you can. When I'm talking. How many people are buried there? Can you tell me anything about it? conditions like in the workhouse? Are the souls at peace now? Are they at peace? A bit quiet as always. There's some stuff coming through. I think I'll transcribe that and see what we get. Just a short session. Yeah, so if you have any questions or anything that you would like me to ask when I go to this location, do comment below and let me know. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. I think it's really interesting, all these layers of history that just can so easily be forgotten. I had no idea there was a workhouse in Shrewsbury, and I've been going back and forth there. I went to college just around the corner from that site. I had no clue that that used to be a workhouse and a plague pit and all of this, and yeah, it's so interesting, I think. Let me know what you think. Love and light to you all. Stay curious. Bye.